For this demonstration, what we're going to do is start adding fields from the EDTs and base enums that we created earlier. So you can see my build has completed, and I'm going to work within the DB vehicle maintenance table. I'm just going to go ahead and close out my output window for now. And there's a couple of different methods that you can use to add a field. So what I could do is I'm going to expand this fields node, and notice that we don't have any. I can right click on fields, go to new, and I could create a new EDT from here, or I can use a drag and drop method. So I can go over to my Solution Explorer and I could drag and drop the different EDTs or enums that I want to add to this table. It's a little bit easier. So the first thing I'm going to do is drag and drop the DB service type enum into my field. So I'll go ahead and expand my base enum. I have a couple of here, so I might need to create another one. So we can add maybe a new service type enum. So just as a review to do this, I can go ahead and right click on my project. We'll go to add new item, or what we could do is we can add it from fields. So I'll right click on fields, go to new, and here we can specify the different types. And I'll go to enum here. And here it's created a new field enum, and we can go ahead and name it over here in properties. So I'll go ahead and say, we could name it here, and I'll just go ahead and say DB service type. And I'll go ahead and set a label here as well. Now, it's important to note that since I added the new field from within the table, we're not going to see that new enum in our project over here on the right-hand side. So we could, if we wanted to reuse this throughout our project, we could add it over here on the right-hand side. So we'll go ahead and do that just to show you. So I'm going to right-click on this enum. We're just going to go ahead and delete it. And I'm going to go back over to my project and create a base enum from here. So I'll go to add, new item. We'll go over to data types and we'll go ahead and select a base enum. And I'm going to go ahead and call this DB service type. And I'll go ahead and click add. And as you can see here, we have this base enum that has been created and added. And so what I can now do, I'll go ahead and close the properties of this. And what I can do is I can drag and drop it over into my fields. So I'm going to start adding some more EDTs. So I want to add the service start and end date. And what I can do is I can click Control and select multiple and then drag and drop it into fields as well to add multiple at one time. I'm also going to add the vehicle ID as well, and that's going to be a string. So I'm going to grab DB vehicle ID and drop that into fields as well. So now I've added the DB service type, DB service end date, DB service start date, and DB vehicle ID as fields to the DB vehicle maintenance table. So now we're going to switch focus over to our DB vehicle table and add some fields to this one as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my EDT strings and I want to grab all of these. I want the make, model, vehicle ID, and VIN. So I'm just going to click on the first one here and hit shift on my keyboard and drag and drop those fields over to my DB vehicle table. Now you'll notice the order of whatever I select over on the right is going to be how it shows in the table. So what I can do is if I want to change the order of these is I can click Alt up or down to move these. So I just moved DBV VIN up. If I want to make it the first one, I'll click Alt and up again so I can have those in the order that I want them displayed. Maybe I want the vehicle ID at the top, or I can move it down lower. So I can use Alt up or down to move these around if I need to. Now let's add some more fields. So I want to go to our EDT integers and I want to add number of doors. So I'll go ahead and drag and drop that into my fields as well. And that'll get added to the bottom. Let's also go ahead and add a model year. I'll drag and drop that over to my fields as well, and that will add that to the bottom. And now let's go ahead and add a couple of our base enums here. So I'm going to go over to my base enums over on the right, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of these. I have the drive type enum that maybe we want our fields to list. And then we also have the vehicle type as well. So we can go ahead and drag and drop our DB drive type over here. And then we can also grab, service type or status type as well. I'm just going to do the DB drive type for now. And there's one last thing that we want to do for both of our tables before we save and build. And what we want to say is that since vehicle ID field is going to be used as our internal tracking number for all of our vehicles, we want to make sure that this field is mandatory on both of our tables. So we can go to our DB vehicle ID field. Over on the right in our properties, we're going to say that this field is mandatory on both the DB vehicle table and the DB vehicle maintenance table. So I'll grab DB vehicle ID and I'm going to change this to yes for mandatory. So again, we'll go ahead and save all, and then we'll go ahead and perform a build.